Okay, keep reading. I was looking at the camera, by the way. I don't know, I think I always had kind of a desire, because my dad was an English professor, and my mom actually taught English in high school, so that made sense. And then when my old career ended and I was looking around, I saw an opening for the library. That was my first application. Being able to go up to people and go, shh! I'm kidding, of course. I just pretty much like it all. It's got kind of a nice public service component to it. That may really be it, and just being around books. I was an English major as well, I forgot to mention that. So I read a lot of literature in college. These days though, I'm pretty much checking out the nonfiction and biographies primarily, as well as movies. I've traditionally been a one book at a time reader, but I find myself sometimes juggling two. I usually have one here that I'm reading and then one at home, and that's kind of how it's been working the last few weeks. I've not been a big audiobook person, and more recently I've usually got one of those going, so sometimes I've got 3 books if you count the audiobooks. When I was very young, my dad would read me Mark Twain, and I can't remember what book it was. It was probably The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, maybe some Huckleberry Finn, and maybe, you know, some of his other stuff like Life on the Mississippi. That probably started it. I've got a book by an author named Sarah Kanzior, I think that's how you pronounce it, Kanzior, and it's called The View from Flyover Country. That's an audiobook that I'm listening to. I'm reading a book called Mitch, Please. It's about Mitch McConnell, basically. A third book that I'm reading at home, which is Being John Lennon, a biography on John Lennon. I think the one that I'd really like, to see or experience or live, another author named Tony Hillerman, who wrote a bunch of books about Navajo tribal policemen in the Four Corners area. The actual geography of that area is a big part of it, as well as just the Native American people. I was once down in the Southwest when I was a teenager, and I thought it was a very interesting area. It really kind of captured my imagination. So if I were to live in any kind of book universe, maybe that one. So the Tony Hillerman Navajo Tribal Policeman book series, Patrick O'Brien, British Navy in the Napoleonic War era books. And I always liked Arthur C. Clarke, and he wrote 2001. He's got a bunch of other books that are pretty good. So, and then just all the regular greats, from Dickens to Hemingway, to just find whatever it is that floats your boat and keep reading. I'm Karr, Hilton Head Library.